The sun was hot over the city of Velmer, where tall towers touched the sky and flying cars hummed above like insects. But below, near the older streets, the world looked different. There were no shiny towers here, only old brick walls, rusty pipes, and people trying to survive. One of them was Tom, a 17-year-old boy with messy brown hair and patched clothes. He lived with his mother in a small room behind a bakery. His father had disappeared years ago, and Tom worked odd jobs to earn money. Today, he was riding his old bicycle to deliver food to a customer when the chain snapped. "Not again," he muttered, jumping off and checking the chain. It was stuck. As Tom struggled with the bike, he noticed something strange across the street. A man in a long gray coat was leaning against a pole, breathing hard. People passed by without stopping. Some looked, but no one cared. Tom frowned. The man looked hurt. He left the bike and rushed over. "Sir, are you okay?" he asked. The old man, his hair silver and face pale, tried to speak but only managed to cough. His eyes showed pain and his legs shook. "Hold on," Tom said. He helped the man sit on a bench nearby. "I'll call for help." "No, don't call anyone," the man whispered. "Just water." Tom nodded. He ran to a small shop nearby and bought a bottle of water with the little money he had left. He came back and helped the man drink slowly. After a few minutes, the man's breathing became steady. "Young man," he said, his voice hoarse but calm now, "why did you help me?" Tom looked confused. "Because you were in trouble." No one else was stopping. The old man smiled weakly. "You could have walked away. Most people did." "I'm not most people," Tom said simply. "Are you sure you don't need a doctor?" The man shook his head. "I just needed to rest, thank you." Tom was about to leave when the man asked, "What's your name?" "Tom." "Well, Tom, you've done more than you know." Tom gave a small smile and went back to his broken bicycle. It still wouldn't work, so he began walking it back home. He had lost the delivery job and his last coins, but he didn't regret helping. As he walked away, the old man took out a small device from his coat. It lit up, and a woman's voice came through. "Chairman Lang, are you safe?" "I am," he replied. "I met someone very interesting." Tom didn't know it yet, but the man he saved wasn't just an old stranger. He was Mr. Lang, the secretive chairman of Novacor, one of the biggest tech companies on Earth and beyond. And now Lang had his eyes on Tom. The next morning, Tom woke up early as usual. His mother was already up, fixing bread and tea for breakfast. The air in their small room smelled of steam and flour. "Tom, don't forget to ask Mr. Gray if he needs help at the shop today." His mother said, "I will," Tom replied, tying his old shoes. He had no money left, and the delivery job from yesterday was probably gone. But he didn't tell his mother about it. She had too many worries already. Tom stepped outside and walked through the narrow lanes. He passed a group of kids kicking a ball and waved to old Mrs. Parn, who was watering her plants with recycled water. He reached Mr. Gray's repair shop, but it was closed. "Strange," Tom whispered. "Mr. Gray never closed the shop during the day." As he turned to leave, he noticed a black car parked at the corner of the street. It was long, shiny, and didn't fit in this part of the city. Two men in dark suits stood beside it, looking around. Tom kept walking, but something felt odd. When he reached the bakery, the car drove slowly behind him. He turned. One of the suited men stepped out. "Are you Tom?" Tom hesitated. "Yes. Why?" The man gave a small bow. "We've been asked to take you to Mr. Lang." "Mr. Lang?" Tom's eyes widened. "The old man from yesterday?" "Yes," the man replied. "He wishes to thank you in person, if you don't mind." Tom looked around. Was this real? A fancy car, bodyguards, and the old man wanted to see him. "All right," he said slowly, "but I need to tell my mom first." Of course. They followed Tom to his home. His mother looked worried when the black car appeared outside. "Tom, what's going on?" "It's okay, Mom. I helped someone yesterday. He wants to thank me. I'll be back soon." She looked unsure, but Tom's calm face helped. "Be careful," she said. Tom got in the car. The seats were soft, and the inside smelled like flowers. The city flew past the window. The buildings grew taller, the roads cleaner, and soon they entered a part of Velmer he had never seen before. Wide spaces, green gardens, and robots cleaning the streets. The car stopped in front of a tall building made of glass and silver. Steel. The men guided Tom inside, through a huge hall filled with quiet people and machines floating in the air. A lift took them to the top floor. There, in a large room with glass walls, Mr. Lang sat in a chair, drinking tea. "Ah, Tom," he said with a smile. "Thank you for coming." Tom stepped forward. "Are you okay now?" "Yes, thanks to you," Mr. Lang replied. "Sit down." Tom sat, nervous. He had never seen such a place. Everything looked expensive and glowing. "Do you know who I am?" Lang asked. "Not really," Tom said. "I'm the chairman of Novacor." Tom blinked. He had heard of Novacor. Everyone had. They built machines, ships, even helped Earth talk with other planets. "You're the boss?" "Yes," Lang smiled. "And yesterday, I was testing something. I dressed as a regular man and went into the city alone. No guards, just to see how people live now. But my health failed me. No one stopped to help except you." Tom stayed quiet. "You didn't ask who I was. You didn't want anything. That's rare," Lang said. Tom nodded. "I just did what I thought was right." Lang leaned forward. "Tom, would you like to come work for me?" Tom looked shocked. "Work? For Novacor?" "Yes, I want to. Offer you a chance, real training, a future." Tom felt his heart beat faster. "But I'm just a poor boy. I don't know tech. I didn't even finish school." "That doesn't matter," Lang said. "You have something more important, heart." Tom looked out the glass window at the city below. It didn't feel real. "All right," he said slowly. "I'll try." Lang smiled. "Good, let's begin." Tom's new life started the very next day. A small silver transport pod arrived outside his house in the morning. It hummed quietly, waiting for him. His mother stood beside him, holding back her tears. "Are you sure about this?" she asked, placing her hand on his shoulder. Tom nodded. "It's just training for now. Mr. Lang said I can come back on weekends." His mother smiled faintly. "You've always been brave, Tom. Just don't forget who you are." "I won't." Tom stepped into the pod. The doors closed, and within seconds, it rose into the sky, flying above the city. Tom looked down, seeing the narrow streets he grew up in. They looked smaller now, like pieces in a game. The pod flew toward the Novacor Learning Center, a huge circular building near the edge of the city. It was built over water, and bright blue energy lines ran across its surface like veins. As the pod landed, a young woman greeted him. She wore a light gray uniform and had a kind smile. "Hello, Tom. My name is Mira. I'll be guiding you today." Tom followed her through wide halls filled with screens, glowing maps, and quiet students. Everything felt clean, smart, and almost too perfect. "Is this a school?" he asked. "Yes," Mira replied. "But not like the ones you've seen. This place trains future minds, engineers, pilots, thinkers. Only a few are invited each year." "But I don't even know how to fix a toaster," Tom admitted. Mira chuckled. "You'll learn. You've already passed the first test, kindness. The rest we can teach." Tom was given a uniform, a simple room with a soft bed, and a small screen for learning. The first week was strange. He had never used high-tech machines before. He didn't understand most of the words the teachers used. He got things wrong a lot. But Tom didn't give up. Each night, while others rested, he stayed up, reading lessons and asking Mira questions. "You're working too hard," she said one night. I have to, Tom replied. I don't want to waste this chance. Soon, his efforts began to show. He could fix simple circuits, fly small drones, and even solve logic puzzles. The teachers noticed. Tom may be from a poor district, one of them told Mr. Lang, but he learns faster than anyone I've seen. Lang nodded. He reminds me of myself. Weeks passed. Tom started making friends too. There was Ben, a quiet boy who loved building things, and Nia, a girl who could code in 5 languages. They were from rich families, but they treated Tom like an equal. One day, the class was taken to a giant underground lab. There, students were asked to work in teams and build a robot assistant using given parts. Tom's team had a problem. One of the parts they were given was broken. We won't finish in time, Nia said, frustrated. Tom looked at the part carefully. He had seen something similar in Mr. Gray's old shop. He grabbed a wire, adjusted the casing, and carefully reconnected 2 ends using a small heat tool. There, he said. It might work now. They connected it to the robot's body. The robot's eyes lit up, and it stood on its feet. It worked. Ben cheered. Their team won first place. When Mr. Lang heard about it, he smiled. Good heart. Fast mind, he said quietly to himself. That night, Tom stood on the roof of the learning center. The sky above was full of stars. Small ships flew between stations in orbit. Tom whispered to himself, I never thought I'd be here. From the shadows, Mr. Lang stepped beside him. I did, he said softly. Tom turned. Surprised. Lang continued. Many people see only what is on the surface: money, looks, background. But I saw something inside you the moment you gave me water. Tom looked down. I still feel like I don't belong here. Lang placed a hand on his shoulder. You belong here more than most. Tom nodded. He didn't know what his future held, but one thing was clear. He was no longer just a poor boy with a broken bike. He was becoming something more. Tom's progress surprised everyone, even the senior trainers at Novacor. In only 3 months, he had gone from struggling with basic tools to designing small machines that could walk, clean, and speak. One morning while he was helping Mira run a repair test on a damaged drone, his communicator beeped. Tom, Mira said, reading the message. Chairman Lang wants to see you, now. Tom's heart jumped. He quickly washed his hands and followed the path to the upper lift, one only senior members used. The ride was silent and smooth. When the doors opened, Tom entered a quiet hallway lit with blue lights. Lang stood at the far end, looking out through a large glass window. The city below sparkled like stars. You asked for me? Tom said. Lang turned around with a calm smile. Yes, Tom, you've grown quickly. I have something important to show you. Tom followed him through a hidden door into a different section of the building. The lights here were dim, and strange machines hummed around them. This place is not part of your training, Lang explained. It is part of a secret project. We've been working on it for years. They stopped in front of a large silver door. Lang placed his hand on a scanner. The door opened with a soft click. Inside, a huge spaceship stood in silence. It was shaped like a bird, smooth and silver, with glowing wings and engines. Tom's eyes widened. Is this a ship? Yes, Lang replied, but not just any ship. This is Hope 1, the first ship built with living metal. It can repair itself, learn from space, and protect its crew like a guardian. Tom stepped closer. The ship pulsed faintly, almost like it was breathing. We plan to send it beyond our solar system, Lang said. To find new planets, new life, and maybe new hope for Earth. Tom turned to him. Why are you showing this to me? Because, Lang said seriously, I want you to join the project. Tom froze. Me? But I'm just a student. You're more than that. Lang said, you care. You think. You work hard, even when it's difficult. Those are the people we need. Tom looked at the ship. A part of him felt scared, but another part felt excited. What will I have to do? You'll be trained for deep space tasks engineering, emergency response, teamwork. And if you're ready, you may even go on the first test flight. Tom slowly nodded. I want to try, Lang smiled. Then let's begin. Over the next weeks, Tom entered a new phase of training. This time, everything was harder and more serious. He learned how to repair machines while floating in zero gravity, how to use special suits for protection, and how to stay calm during system failures. He also met his new team, Ben, Nia, and Soren, a quiet genius who built sensors from trash. Together, they trained every day. They argued, laughed, struggled, but slowly, they became a strong unit. One day during a drill, an emergency alarm suddenly went off. The lab lights turned red. Everyone paused. Training? But Ben asked. No, Mira's voice came through the speaker. This is real. Tom's heart pounded. A shuttle outside had lost power and was falling toward the bay. Without waiting, Tom ran to the controls. It's still online. If I can reroute power to the right thrusters. I'm with you, Nia said, jumping in. Ben pulled up the map, and Soren began typing commands. In less than 30 seconds, they sent emergency power through a backup line. The falling shuttle slowed and landed safely. Inside the control room, Lang watched it all happen. They worked as one, Mira said. Lang nodded. They're ready. Later that night, Tom sat alone on the roof again. The stars seemed closer. Now, like they were waiting for him. From behind, Lang's voice came. You saved lives today, Tom. Tom didn't answer right away. Then he said, I used to think people like me could never reach the stars. And now? Lang asked. Tom smiled. Now I think, maybe the stars need people like me. The big day had finally come. After months of hard training, Tom and his team were standing inside the Launch Control Center. The large windows looked out at the test bay, where Hope 1 stood glowing under the morning sky. Engineers moved around the ship, checking systems one last time. Tom's heart was beating fast. He wore a new flight suit, dark blue with silver lines. His name was printed on the chest. Beside him, Ben stretched nervously, Nia tightened her gloves, and Soren stayed silent as usual. You ready for this? Nia asked, smiling. Tom nodded, more than ever. Mr. Lang entered the room. He walked slowly, his hands behind his back, and looked at each of them. You four are the first humans to test this ship in space, he said. You won't go far, just past the moon and back, but this flight is important. The ship is watching. Learning, be honest with it. Work as one. He paused, and come home safe. Tom stepped forward. We'll do our best, sir. Lang gave a small nod. Then go. The stars are waiting. The team walked down a bright tunnel toward the ship. As they entered Hope 1, the doors closed behind them with a soft hiss. Welcome, crew, a calm voice said. It came from the ship itself. Did the ship just talk? Ben asked, surprised. Yes, Soren replied. It's fully aware. It learns by talking and working with us. Tom walked to the command seat. Screens lit up around him, showing systems, maps, and data. Everything felt natural, like the ship already knew what he needed. Prepare for launch. The ship said. Tom took a deep breath. Let's do this. Engines hummed. The ship rose smoothly from the ground, passed through the dome above the bay, and soared into the sky. The city shrank below them. Then the clouds disappeared, and space opened before their eyes. It's beautiful, Nia whispered. Tom stared out the wide window. The stars were no longer just lights in the sky. They were real now, surrounding them. They passed Earth's orbit in minutes. Then they headed toward the moon. Everything was quiet, peaceful. Status report? Tom asked. All systems stable, said the ship. Speed normal, shields active. Life support green. Ben clapped. We're really doing But suddenly, a soft beep echoed through the ship. "Warning," the ship said. "Unknown object approaching." Soren jumped to the controls. "I see it. Something small and fast." On the screen, a dark shape appeared. It was spinning, moving strangely. It didn't look like a rock. Could be space junk, Nia guessed. Or a probe, Ben added. Tom frowned. "Can we move around it?" The ship paused. "Negative. Object is adjusting course. It's following us." The room went quiet. Something out there was watching them. "Switch to shield mode," Tom ordered. The ship obeyed. A soft blue light formed around Hope. The object came closer. It was a small drone, old, damaged, but still active. It suddenly shot a weak beam of energy toward them. "No damage," the ship said. "Attack was weak. Should we destroy it?" Nia asked. Tom shook his head. "No, let's try talking to it." Everyone looked at him in surprise. "What if it's lost?" Tom said. "Just like I was before Mr. Lang found me." He opened a communication line. "This is Hope 1. We're peaceful. Who are you?" Static. Then, after a moment, a voice came through, broken, robotic. "Help. Cold. Alone. Drifting." Tom's eyes softened. "It's just trying to survive. Can we bring it in?" He asked the ship. "Yes, creating safe zone." Now, the team watched as the drone was gently pulled into a side bay. It was cracked, its signal weak. But inside, it had old Earth codes. "This drone is from a lost mission," Soren said. "It's been out here for years." Tom smiled. "Then today, we brought something home." Back on Earth, Lang watched the live feed. "He didn't destroy the unknown," Mira said. "He helped it," Lang nodded. "That's why I chose him." Inside Hope 1, Tom looked out at the stars again. He had left as a trainee, but he was returning as something more, a true explorer, with a heart that saw more than machines. And this was only the beginning. Tom and his team returned to Earth as heroes. Their successful test flight of Hope 1 made headlines around the world. News channels played clips of the ship gliding through space, and everyone was talking about the boy from the poor streets who helped rescue a forgotten drone. But Tom didn't care about the fame. As soon as the debrief was over, he asked Lang, "Can I visit my mother?" Lang smiled. "Of course. Family comes first." Tom stepped out of the Nova Corps car and walked through the old streets of his neighborhood. It was just like before, kids playing in the dust, clothes drying on ropes, and the smell of fresh bread from the bakery. But this time, something was different. People stopped and stared at him. Some waved. Others whispered his name. "Is that the boy who went to space?" "That's Tom, the one from the news." Tom waved politely, feeling shy. He wasn't used to this kind of attention. When he reached home, his mother opened the door and pulled him into a tight hug. "My boy," she whispered, eyes full of tears. "You came back safe," Tom smiled. "I told you I would." They sat and talked for hours. Tom shared stories about space, his team, and how Hope 1 felt almost alive. His mother listened quietly, her hand on his dot. Later that evening, Tom walked to Mr. Gray's old repair shop. The door was still locked. He asked the nearby shopkeeper, "Where is Mr. Gray?" The man looked down. "He closed the shop last month. Some men from a land company came. They want to build towers here. Many people are leaving." Tom frowned. "But this is our home." The man nodded. "Yes, but they don't care. They say it's old and useless now." Tom looked around. Some buildings had already been marked for removal. Children were drawing on the walls, not knowing their drawings would soon be gone. That night, Tom couldn't sleep. He lay in his old bed, thinking. He had seen stars and spaceships, but what about the people down here? What about his neighborhood? The next morning, Tom asked Lang for a meeting. When he entered the office, Lang noticed his serious face. "Everything all right, Tom?" Tom nodded slowly. I want to help the people in my district. Lang raised an eyebrow. Go on. They're being pushed out by land companies. Their homes, shops, and schools are being torn down. These people may be poor, but they matter. Just like that drone we saved in space. Lang listened quietly. I was one of them, Tom continued. And if you hadn't stopped that day, I'd still be fixing broken bikes. They just need a chance. Lang leaned back in his chair. What do you have in mind? NovaCore can build training centers there. We can teach the youth how to work with machines, coding, or even ship repair. Give them skills, a future. Lang smiled. You've been thinking like a leader. I'm just doing what you did for me. Lang stood and walked to the window. You remind me of myself when I was young, full of fire, but with purpose. Very well. Prepare a plan. If it's strong, I'll support it. Tom worked all night on his plan. He asked Mira for help, used old maps, and wrote clear steps. Training centers, free learning pods, job offers at NovaCore for those who complete the courses. He also added one final point: protect the community from greedy land companies. 2 days later, Lang approved the plan. I'm proud of you, Tom, he said. You've taken your first step beyond being just a student. Tom didn't smile. He was serious. It's not about me anymore. Soon construction began. NovaCore engineers arrived to build a new center right where the old repair shop had been. Young boys and girls gathered, eyes wide with wonder, as small bots laid bricks and printed signs. Welcome to NovaCore Learning Hub, District 9. Tom stood with his mother, watching it happen. You changed everything, she said. No. Tom replied, I just remembered where I came from. And deep inside, Tom knew this was only the start. Helping others wasn't just a duty now. It was part of his mission. Life at the new NovaCore Learning Hub was full of energy and hope. Every day, more children and young adults came to learn. Tom often walked among them, answering questions and sharing stories from space. But not everyone was happy. One afternoon, a group of men in suits arrived at the hub. They were from a powerful land company called TerraTech. Their leader, a tall man named Mr. Crane, wore a cold smile. This land belongs to us, Mr. Crane said loudly. NovaCore has no right to build here. You must stop your work immediately. Tom stepped forward. This community needs the hub. It gives people skills and a future. Mr. Crane laughed. Skills won't pay the bills. Money does. We have the legal rights, and we will take this land back. The crowd grew tense. Some of the learners looked scared. Tom's heart beat faster. He knew this fight would not be easy. That evening, Tom met with Lang and Mira in the NovaCore headquarters. We expected resistance, Lang said calmly. TerraTech has deep pockets and many friends in government. What can we do? Tom asked. We fight smart, Mira replied. Use the law, public support, and our own resources. Lang nodded. Tom, your story and your plan have made many people watch us closely. We will gather support from the city and beyond. But you must be ready for what comes next. Tom clenched his fists. I will not let them destroy what we started. The next weeks were hard. TerraTech sent letters threatening eviction. Workers tried to sabotage the construction. But Tom and his team worked harder. They held meetings, talked to neighbors, and shared their vision on news channels. People started to come forward, sharing their stories about the neighborhood and why it mattered. Slowly, public opinion turned against TerraTech. One night, a fire broke out near the learning hub. The flames spread quickly, but thanks to the quick actions of Tom, Mira, and the team, the damage was limited. Tom stood watching the burnt ground the next morning. His heart ached. This is more than just a fight for land, Mira said quietly. It's a fight for the soul of the community. Tom nodded. And I will not give up. A court hearing was set. Lang and his lawyers prepared a strong case. showing evidence of Teratech's illegal moves and the community's support for the hub. On the day of the hearing, Tom spoke in front of the judge and reporters. "This place gave me hope when I had none. It gave me a chance to change my life. I believe it can do the same for many others. Please help us keep this dream alive." His words touched many hearts. In the end, the judge ruled in favor of Novacor. Teratech was ordered to stop all work and respect the community's rights. The news spread fast. People cheered. The learning hub was safe. Tom looked around at the smiling faces in the hub. The fight was hard, but it made them stronger. Lang came beside him. "You showed what it means to stand up for others. I'm proud." Tom smiled. "We all did it together." As night fell, Tom stood on the roof again, looking at the stars. The fight for the land was won, but his journey was far from over. The universe was wide and full of challenges. But Tom knew one thing: no matter where he went, he would never forget where he came from, and he would always fight for those who needed him.